Hey everybody, and thanks for watching Woodcrest Bonsai. Today I'm going to take these cuttings of Everbearing Mulberry. That is a tropical fruit tree, but I have seen them turned into bonsai, and they were pretty nice. So I got myself a tree and I started taking cuttings, and this is a group that have been in this pot quite a while, so they probably are going to come up as one giant mass. I also have my potting soil ready here, and I have some 6-inch training pots, and it's just going to be a simple process of yanking these guys out of the pot, separating them, and then putting them into the 6-inch pots. So that's why I left my scissors 8 feet away. Okay, these guys have been in a long time, so they're probably going to be just one giant mass. This pot, which I kind of like these pots, are actually designed as water lily pots or water plants that go into a pond. Lots and lots of drainage though. So let's see what we're up against here. And like I figured, it's going to be just one giant mass. We good there? Okay, we're good. So I think I'm going to start with this guy who's all by himself and just try to very gently extricate it from the medium. And these guys are just in the very beginning of their journey to become a bonsai. So the next stage for these, once they're potted, will be, whoa, look at those roots. Nice. Unfortunately, nothing over here because it was at the edge. But I think we can still pull something off. So I'm going to cut a lot of these lower limbs, roots, and then I'm going to cut some of the top too. I mean, I could conceivably like cut it to right there, take all this off, because that would build taper, but I really want them to strengthen more, so I'm just going to cut off a little bit. So the more growth you leave on a tree, the thicker it's going to get more quickly. So there's that guy. And we're missing a lot of roots in the back here, but I'm going to try to feather these roots out here so that eventually, as surface roots, they will produce a decent root ball. And then we've got our soil. And then I'm going to put the tree in there. Try to make sure those surface roots are feathered out so that it's got much closer. I've got one root right here. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm going to take him off because he's just shooting straight up almost. Alright, that looks pretty good. And just fill it with soil. And then I'm going to give these guys a real good fertilization to really get them off going quickly. So that's it. One Everbearing Mulberry in a 6-inch training pot. And I suppose we could do another one. So let's do this guy that's also sorted by himself. We've got 5 that are all right together. They're going to be interesting to try to get apart. Probably have to cut those apart. But these guys are pretty tough plants. So, is this a double? It is. It's a double. And I don't really like doubles, so we've got some roots that are circling around. So I'm going to cut the double guy off, the smaller one. A lot of times I talk about leaving the small one and cut off the big one when you're doing your design. But I want these to really get a lot thicker, a lot quicker, so I want to save that bigger one. And then it's got some roots that need to be manipulated around. But actually it's pretty good. And do a cut. Take those roots out of there, get my soil in the pot. And I think I'm still going to need to cut more roots, just so they don't like immediately become circling roots. And it's got pretty decent. Let me get that out. It's got pretty decent Mulberry. Missing some right here. But, you know, you almost never get it perfect. But I'm a huge proponent of feathering the roots out when they're young. Because once they mature and harden off, it's impossible to feather them out. You still may be able to promote new roots to create a decent Mulberry, but it's a lot more difficult as I'm off. Okay, so there's the second one. So the other 5 are going to be exactly the same thing. And then these guys are going to get, a good fertilization, watered in immediately, and placed in some morning shade and afternoon sun. Like I said, these are pretty tough cookies as far as growth. And they're going to take quite a while before they're ready to be bonsai. But this is the first stage. The next part is just letting them grow rampant. Get 2 feet or more. Then do a major cutback. And that's going to happen about 3 or 4 times. And then we'll begin to get decent movement. We'll have some decent branching. And we can begin turning them into finished trees. I may actually allow a couple to get much, much larger with trunks, you know, 1.5 inches or maybe even 2 inches around. And that will take putting them into much bigger pots or even in the ground, and then just letting them grow like as if they were just a tree, and maybe doing some trimming on them, but allowing them to really just take off and thicken. So I may do that with a couple of them, but right now the next step is to get those other 5 out of there. And it's the same process over and over again. So I'm going to finish this video right here. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and comment if you'd like. And when you subscribe, you'll be able to see these guys mature as I continue to post new videos as they develop. And so that's it for today. Everbearing mulberry. And they're called everbearing, but they don't produce constantly. But they are pretty cool when they're full of fruit. The fruit is, well, it's a mulberry. It turns real purple, kind of like a little miniature cluster of grapes. I'll show you that once we get some fruit, which is probably 8 months, 9 months. So anyway, hang in there, and I will see you in the next video.